In-house today, we have special guest Lauren Duke. She's joining us from the mountain. Hey, Lauren, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm so well. Hey, so there's a bunch of questions. I know it's roaring throughout the town right now. Are we going to have a ski season? I don't know if you can give us a definitive answer, but what is the mountain's opinion on that?
Yeah, that's a great way to approach it. Unfortunately, I don't have a definitive answer, but I can tell you that we are working so diligently to make sure there's a great winter season. There's a lot up in the air. Obviously, everyone knows that there's a ton of uncertainty in our community right now about a lot of things, but we are working behind the scenes with Altera Mountain Company, our parent company, as well as other ski resorts and other brands and industry leaders to figure out solutions to a variety of scenarios, whether that might be something like capacity limitations, contactless payment and ordering, changes to our maze setup. We are looking at every single possible scenario so we are prepared to have a great winter season. And we want to instill that confidence in our guests. So actually last week, we sent an email to a ton of Steamboat fans. Probably a lot of locals received this email saying just that, like, oh, good.
I did.
Yeah, we just want people to know what we're doing because it's hard for them to understand how difficult it is for us to prepare for the uncertainty ahead, but that we're looking at so many different things. So we want them to know that we're working on them so that they can consider booking their vacations now. For people traveling in, now is the best time to take advantage of a ton of deals out there. So we want them to feel confident in doing that. Another thing the resort did this year that is brand new is we've created a worry-free vacation policy so that people who do book right now, if anything changes due to COVID as we get closer to the winter season, they can change their plans and get a full refund or credit if that's what they need. So we are making it easy for guests to plan. And then we're planning as much as we can behind the scenes, and we'll be ready to change and adapt as we need to.
That sounds like a team of people who are actually legitimately concerned about other people as opposed to like, hey, we'll sell you a ski pass, but you're not going to get your money back. It's a gamble. Roll those dice. You're not doing that. You're saying, hey, if you do decide I want to plan for my winter vacation, we're here to help you do that and make sure that you get the most out of it.
Absolutely. We understand how scary it can be to think about travel right now. There's a lot of things going on with travel, and people may have lost their jobs or they're trying to save as much money during this time. So to think about spending money on something as uncertain as travel, we get that that's a hard thing to think about. So we absolutely want to work with our guests to make it as comfortable as possible. And again, create these brand new policies. We've never had policies like this before. And we're working with a ton of great partners in town, lodging partners and activity partners, to be able to assure our guests that they can book with confidence. And if things change, we will accommodate them. But hopefully things won't change and everyone can come and visit and it'll be a great winter.
Lauren, that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to have a phenomenal winter season and throw around powder like the good old days.
Exactly.
So I feel like we can't talk about the mountain without talking about the mountain expansion. Before this whole thing hit, there was talk of an expansion. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So last year, probably around this time, we announced our big plans for this year, which included expanding not our boundary. Our boundary already went out into Pioneer Ridge, but actually expanding the skiable acreage into Pioneer Ridge, as well as some other cool projects. And unfortunately, this spring, we decided to pull back on those projects just because of COVID and all the things that are going on in our world right now. But that brought us to the opportunity to really hone in on our Mountain Master Development Plan, which did have an amendment last year to create space for a whole bunch of new projects that were on our radar. And now Altera Mountain Company has given us the go-ahead to move through the process to look at finalizing those projects. So this is just the first step in a long process, but we have things on the table that we have been talking about for years that could happen in the near future, like Pioneer Ridge, which not only would be Pioneer Ridge now, but it would also include Fish Creek Canyon, tons of extra expert and advanced skier terrain out there. The longest 8-person gondola in North America. We originally got approval to have a gondola that would go from the base area up to the Basher area. Now we want to propose that the Basher area becomes a mid-station, and from there, the gondola continues on up to Sunshine Peak, and it just opens up a ton of intermediate terrain. That means we'll want to explore adding snowmaking to Wally World and get those conditions ready for skiers and snowboarders earlier than ever before. So there's a ton of projects that are on the docket. We're excited that the Forest Service is ready to start the approval process. We are in an environmental assessment right now, and there's a ton of great information on the Forest Service website about our environmental assessment. And then if we get that approval, it just means we're one step closer to getting these projects finalized in the near future.
You said there was an environmental impact survey going out right now. That I can't even imagine. Personally, I can't imagine all the steps that go into making this happen. I can't imagine. It's a huge undertaking. So thank you for being a part of this, and thank you for considering doing this as well. Like, I was out in Frisco just last week with my wife, and talking to some shop owner, and she said, "Hey, you're from Steamboat?" I said, "I am." She said, "We've got, I want to move to Steamboat. Frisco's getting a little busy, and Steamboat is about to open up this new double black diamond terrain out there." And I said, "Yep, we're going to." So I think that this expansion could draw a huge amount of people into Steamboat.
We hope so. I mean, obviously, we have our avid fans that have been coming for generations, but one of the things we have consistently heard back from our fans is that our advanced and expert terrain isn't up to snuff with some other resorts. And so we have this incredible terrain that is technically within inside our boundary, the permit that we have with the US Forest Service, but we've never developed it. And not that we would actually develop it, but we would maintain it and give skier services in that area, which just means people can be more comfortable going out there, and that trees will be maintained and things like that. So it's a huge opportunity for us. We're really excited to explore it.
That is so cool and amazing news for anybody that loves to ski. And we're talking to everybody here who loves to ski. So this is going to make Steamboat Resort like one of the biggest resorts in Colorado. Is that correct?
It will. So we will add about 650 acres of skiable terrain, and that will push us to the second largest ski resort in the state of Colorado. That's really exciting news.
Oh my God. Wow. With all of this exciting stuff that's happening in the winter time, how has reopening been going for you guys since the start of all this?
So we were thrilled to be able to open for the summer for a lot of reasons, mainly because people love Steamboat in the summer and they wanted to come up to visit, and we wanted to be a place that they could comfortably and safely recreate in the outdoors. So we were thrilled to be able to open. For us, one of the greatest parts about opening the summer is that it really is a practice session for the winter season. We don't have as much open, but this is a baby step for us to understand how our guests react to our protocols and our new procedures, and what things look like in response to mitigation plans and COVID response plans. So it really is a great way for us to practice and build that foundation for the winter season. And it has been amazing to see how cooperative everyone is. People understand the reason for our policies and they're willing to abide by them. And that just makes our job so much easier. So we are happy to welcome people to come up to the mountain and experience our activities. The outdoors is a great place to be right now. It's part of Governor Polis's our safer at home is in the vast great outdoors. So for us to be able to provide that opportunity for people to be outside in the fresh air and enjoy family time together, we're thrilled that we can do that. And again, it's been nice to see how cooperative people are. We didn't really know what we were getting into with some of these new policies and procedures, but we're up and running. It's a good practice round, and now we're focused on winter.
I live mountainside, and I've actually taken my daughter up to the, I have a 15-month-old, and I've taken her up to the base of the mountain there a couple times to get in the sand and the water there. She loves it. I love seeing that people are still taking advantage of the outside and the mountain.
Exactly. It's just so nice. I mean, that's why we all live here. We love the outdoors, but especially in this time where outdoors is where we're recommended to be and breathe in as much fresh air as we can. The promenade and the creek have been so popular, and we love to see people up there.
Yeah. Well, Lauren, thank you so much. You've given us a lot to think about. I appreciate you taking your time to be on air with me this morning, and I hope to talk with you soon.
Absolutely. And I'll just remind everyone to check out steamboat.com for all the latest information on our summer operations and what winter might look like. And certainly we're doing updates about our COVID response. So steamboat.com is the place to find everything you need to know about Ski Corps.
Perfect. Well, Lauren, thank you so much.